I don't know, every Mac has an application, and the SM7 is super good for like podcasting, radio stuff. I mean, you can always do it like with a Sennheiser 441 for sure, but it's like $800. So I mean, it's more expensive, and the results are gonna be in the ballpark, I guess.
Bro, I always trip balls. Pardon the expression, listeners. You don't care. I always trip balls when I talk to you. Like because I know that you speak English, right? But I'm always surprised with how many things you know. That sounds a little stupid to say, but you know so many like little expressions, little idioms, little this, little that it just makes me smile sometimes, man.
Thank you, my man.
Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to episode 100 of English with Dane. It's crazy to think we've done 100 of these. It's been really fun so far, and there are big plans ahead, big things coming. Thanks for listening and following the show for this long, for those of you who have been along for the ride. For those of you who are a little more new to the show, welcome. I hope the show is helping you feel more confident and comfortable with the English language, and that it's not something stressful in your life, but something fun to explore and get creative with. The aim of this show, the objective of the show, is to make you feel like yourself in English, basically. So again, welcome, and feel free to contribute too. Let me know if there's something you want me to talk about. You know where to find me. All right, this episode is a special episode for a few different reasons. The first is that it's the 100th episode. Yes, we've addressed that. We've talked about that. The second reason is that we have a guest. He is a songwriter, sound engineer, a producer, a performer, a YouTuber, you name it. He's a bunch of stuff, really, but first and foremost, a good friend, of course. So let's jump back into the conversation. We were talking about microphones for a little while before I hit the record button, but I think I introduce him in a second. Also, I don't correct every mistake. I say that I will, but I don't. I didn't want to cut him off too much for the sake of conversation, but Escri, if you're listening, and the rest of you too, see if you can spot the mistakes. And I don't mean this in a condescending way at all, and Escri knows that. It's more of a way to make this experience more useful. All right, enough talking. Here's the conversation.
But it's I don't know, it's a constant work, and it's I don't know, listening to people who knows like to properly speak.
Who know. Thanks.
There
you go. By the way, as I'm correcting you, I feel the need to explain this. I've known Escri. Okay, well, let's introduce you to everybody first.
All right.
You are Álvaro Escribano, of course.
That's me.
And I've known you now for like, I want to say 16 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm 32 now, and I met you when I was 16 in Ritmo y Compás.
Exactly.
Okay, no, hold on. No, it's because I want to give people a better context, you know? So yeah, so we met when I was 16. I'm 32 now. I've known you for 16 years. And when I met you, I think you spoke English, right? But it's nowhere near the level where it is now, right?
No, sir.
And part of that is because, and here's the explanation, a long time ago, we had the conversation of, I'm going to correct you all the time.
Exactly, man.
To the point where some people might hear this podcast and think, hey, let him speak or whatever. But this is something we've been doing for so long. And I think it's maybe the only way to really help someone in this case. Like, I point out every mistake that you make with the hopes that you won't make it anymore. And I think, you know, and so before we have this conversation, I just want you guys to understand that I'm not just correcting him for the sake of it. Some people don't like to be corrected, but this is our relationship and we've been doing it like this for however many years. So I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Before anything else.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of like, I like being corrected in the things that I wouldn't say master, but in the things that I'm not like perfectly comfortable with. So the moment I started like speaking with you and with Matt and with Payam in English, like guys, I really want to take a step forward with this stuff. I mean, the whole point for me, it was like, I don't want to think that I can do this thing properly. I want to know that I can do it. So every single time that I make a mistake, please do correct me, because it's the only way to probably get yourself in the position that you know you're improving. So that's that, man. I mean, I'm super grateful for that. And of course, I'm no one to tell anybody how they should learn something. But for me, it was always like, correct me. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to be mad. Just do it, man. Just do it. And I don't know, it's the feeling that you're getting closer to your objective and you're getting probably less stressed about it.
And honestly, it's kind of like that with a lot of different things. Like, you wouldn't teach somebody guitar and then when they play something incorrectly, you just don't say anything, right? You say something.
Absolutely.
But I think with language, it becomes a little bit trickier because it's like you're interrupting someone sometimes, or because it's so personal, right? The way you speak is very personal. And I think some people, they shy away from correcting. Some teachers shy away from correcting that much because they think, I'm going to discourage my students, or I don't want them to feel like they make so many mistakes. And I do agree to a certain extent. Like, if you don't speak that well and your level is pretty low, I think it's more useful for the student for me to let them speak and let them get comfortable and start producing, right, in the different language. And then later we'll say, hey, we never say tell to Alvaro, like tell to Alvaro, we don't say that. And then they can slowly start building that database over time, right? But once you get to a level, I think correcting someone all the time is the fastest way for them to level up, I guess.
I mean, it worked for me. So I mean, the thing with that is, like, as you said, like, if these are like your first steps in English or whatever in life, learning something, okay, I think that the perfect way to start is like, I'm gonna let you like go ahead, get the fear out of the way, and then let's make progress, man. So I mean, that's perfectly fine. Sorry for me. And I was thinking, for example, like you were saying that it could sound rude or whatever, but imagine a normal conversation with somebody about any single topic. If you are like, I don't know, like having an argument over whatever, if you are polite, the second you think someone is not correct, you correct them. I mean, so it's not the same, but you can relate that to the learning curve, I guess. So for me, it was always like, don't be afraid of being corrected, and sometimes can be frustrating or whatever. I mean, but so many things are. So
100%. And I think it's a case of just jumping in. There's no way around it. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel whatever. And I'm sure the first times you spoke with us in English, you were uncomfortable at first, right? Let's give people a little bit more background. So you and I have played in bands together, or in a band together. Oh, well, no, technically now two bands together.
Do, man.
Yeah. But I mean, we've known each other for right, like 16 years. We've always played together. We've always talked about music. We've always, you've helped me a lot in terms of my, let's say, like me diving into the world of sound and music production and all these things, for real. Like you, I mean, I've called you, I've texted you a million times, asking you questions, asking you for advice and everything. But so we were in a band together, called Riot City Sinners.
Oh yeah,
dude. I don't want to say I still think we were good, because now I probably don't think so. But in those days, I thought we were good and I thought we were going somewhere and everything. Irrelevant. So the interesting thing about that band though is that, so we were 4 people. There were 4 of us in that band, right? That's a classic mistake, by the way. Éramos 4, we were 4. Like, that's a classic. We were 4 is like teníamos 4 años, right? So there were 4 of us in the band.
Right.
It was me.
We were a 4-piece or something. A
4-piece, yeah, a 4-piece works.
Right.
It was my brother and I, Payam, shout out to Big P.
Hey, P.
And you. And the 3 of us, I'm going to exclude you for a second. We grew up speaking English, right? Living in the United States. So we have, our English is like native and it's like our first language, right? And you didn't. You grew up here in Spain. Mm-hmm. How was that for you? Because we would just speak in English. And I remember the day, I think we were at your house and you said, you know what, just speak English, forget about me in a way, and just go for it and I'll adapt. What made you make that decision, and what was your thinking behind it, and how did you feel during that process?
Well, for me, first of all, I think it was inspiring to like be in a safe place, I guess, where I could like grow as a student, I guess, because mm-hmm. I wasn't studying, sorry. But, you know, it's kind of like, for me, it was like perfect in the way that my entry point to English was movies, but especially records, music, like music from the United States and you know, Britain and stuff, but especially the United States, and that always kept me like going, like, I don't know, man, I want to know what these people are saying about this certain topic or whatever. And the same with movies and TV series, but for me it was music. So having a band when you're from Spain and you're not native, as you said, because for me it was like really funny at the beginning, like when I saw you and Matt, and especially you, but Matt opening a sentence in English, throwing some Spanish, whatever vocabulary or adjective or whatever in the middle, and then ending again in English or whatever, man. But yeah. that's like when you know someone is truly native and bilingual, because his or her brain is working in 2 languages at the same time, you know. And for me, the biggest thing is when I started to think in English, when I was speaking in English. I'm not super accurate in what I want to say, but I search for the word or for the expression or whatever in English, not in Spanish, and then and then translate. So my turning point with that was like letting myself go of fear and just say, like, guys, you know what? Let's do this, man. Speak in English because you're comfortable. Obviously, I mean, Payam's from Texas. You both, you brothers grew up in the States, so it was natural for you. And for me, it was challenging, I guess, at first, but the feeling of having 3 bodies letting you grow and you know, like mocking you in a really good way, because I mean that's how I think you should do it, like like taking, I mean, it's not gotta be super serious. I mean, you can always like have a good laugh about it and still learn it. So that was my turning point, because I always wanted to do that, but I've never got like the courage or the will, I guess, to get serious about it. And with you guys was like perfect. So
let me ask you this. some people might be hearing this thinking like, oh, but I'm sure he went to like an academy, or he lived abroad, or he did this, or he did that. What was your relationship with English growing up?
You know, the both sides I got were like records, I mean music and movies and TV series or whatever. The part that I didn't like was school, because as you said, I don't think that English has been taken seriously, like for the most part of the last 25, 30 years.
Mhm.
And before that, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with that is like, I didn't like English classes in my school years and in my high school years, because I didn't feel connected to what they were trying to say me, and my grades were not good. I mean, they were not bad, but I wasn't like an A student in English.
Mhm.
And you know, I think that like official titles, I only may have like I don't remember if it was like Cambridge or a Trinity degree, but something like really, like, I don't know, like something like a pet certificate or something like that. So not a big one, and with me, and I think this should apply to everyone that wants to know English, whatever, if you do it for pleasure or for business, or if you are required to, find the spot that you like about the language, and you'll see, once you get like rolling in the trickiest parts and in the things that matter, you will always find some places to be like safe, and you'll feel that something, sorry, that you couldn't even imagine that you were gonna like, you are like enjoying in them. Like, I don't know, accents, for example. I'm a sucker for accents, man. Like it's super funny, like, to think like, where's this dude from? Like yeah, because he said this, but with that, and you know, you can get like super technical and super picky. At the same time, you could be like super general about it, like, oh, the dude's British. I don't exactly know where's he from, but I know that's not like a US accent, or I don't know, like an Australian accent or whatever. So for me, if I had to say something, I would say like, pick the thing that you are comfortable and the thing that you love about the language, and you're gonna improve, man. Seriously.
100%. Quick correction. I want to know where he's from, not where's he from.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because
Thanks,
it's not a question. Good.
Yeah. Thanks.
You are a guitar player, and I'm super jealous of your guitar collection. You have the best guitar collection out of anyone I know personally, by far.
You know what? That might be true, and thank you. But you have one of my favorite guitars. I mean, your Fender Stratocaster, man. That's one of a kind, man. That was a rare find, man.
Yeah, man, and I have you to thank for it, because that, for people who don't know, I have a beautiful Fender Stratocaster Olympic white with the mint green pickup. It's like my dream guitar. It was a present from my girlfriend and all my friends, and Escri actually helped my girlfriend find it, and he is responsible for me owning it in a way. So, you know, thanks for that, bro.
Man.
But back to your guitar collection.
All right.
If you put my guitar in your collection, it would disappear. You wouldn't even look at it, maybe. But okay, so you have the sickest guitar collection. If you guys want to see it, you should check out his Instagram. We'll give you all of that information. When did you start playing, and what made you fall in love with guitar?
You know, around I want to say 15 or 16 years old. For me, it was kind of like I don't know. I love all the three classic rock and roll band instruments. That'll be drums, bass guitar, and electric guitar. But there was something about the guitar that made me feel like attracted to it and very comfortable of thinking me. I wouldn't say as a guitar player because I don't play that much, but as a person who plays guitar, I guess.
I would say, sorry, thinking of myself as a guitar player.
Thank you, man. And I don't know. It was only natural for me, like to pick the guitar and start in love in the different brands, I guess, and the different shapes and types of guitars, and it's a wide world, man. I mean, you can have, I don't know, you can spend literally dozen of hours like focusing on little details about what makes for example, my Stratocaster, which is a 57, different from your Stratocaster that is a 62. So that type of stuff, I don't know, man, really speaks to me. Like, I don't know, it's super fun for me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, no, I agree. I think it was the same for me. I was like 15, 16. And I think for me, I was listening to a lot of like punk rock at the time, a lot of like Blink-182, Pennywise, and I was like skateboarding every day and living that life. But I also listened to like a lot of different type of music because my parents and my brother, obviously. So my brother was listening to Oasis a lot at the time. My parents have always listened to like the Beatles and Cat Stevens and stuff like that. And I liked punk rock and hip hop. I always liked punk rock and hip hop. And I heard my brother playing a lot, so I started. And I think we kind of had that same thing of like, it just felt natural to just start playing, and you don't really almost remember the learning curve. You just remember starting to play and that you still play now.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to like the English learning curve. Once, I mean, at the first steps, you might think like, I don't know, this is not for me, or this is very hard. But you know what? After 20 plus years on both subjects, I only remember the good times, and I do cherish that moment, man, because those moments, yeah,
you got it, bro. You don't need me. You don't need me at all.
I need you, sir. Anyways, I do cherish those moments because you get to a point that you always remember the good things, and the bad things just tend to disappear. So it's really, I don't know, I'm really thankful for that, because it put me in a place where I can be, like, as I say, 20 plus years later, joining the same stuff that I did when I was 15 years old.
Yeah. Word. No, I totally get it. You're a music producer. You're a musician. You've played in a lot of different bands. You've played all around Spain. You've done a bunch of stuff. You've recorded albums, artists, everything. Recently, we had a kind of like a disagreement about stuff. And I say recently, it was like an hour and a half ago, maybe, or an hour ago. What do you do when there's just like such a difference of opinion in a song, like building a song? So much goes into like composing and producing a song. What happens when, I'm asking you just kind of also for advice, not just as a question. What do you do? What's your approach when somebody just has a completely different opinion about something? You're the producer. Like, how do you navigate that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I would say ego is poison, man. I mean, in every single situation, you gotta get yourself in the position of other people, man, and why, I don't know, person A likes whatever, and why person B dislikes this thing, and why person C, I'm like in the middle, but which is the, I don't know, which is like the way to go, and that type of stuff. You need to always reevaluate and rethink what you are doing. And I don't know, for me, the first lesson is that ego is poison. So I tend to think whenever I feel like I'm the hot shit here or whatever, right? And everyone has those kind of moments. I mean, it's only human to do that shit. But whenever I feel that, I tend to think like, I don't know, take a look at the past, at the music that you like, at the music that you don't care about, and every single stuff that you can remember, and look how many geniuses have been before you, and you are not a genius, and you have a perfectly valid opinion about something, but so does everyone else. So get in everybody's place, be empathic. That's a word, right? I'm not.
Yeah, actually, dude, I looked this up recently. You can say empathic or empathetic. Both are acceptable.
Empathetic. Well, empathetic, I don't know, sounds nicer, I guess.
Empathetic sounds like a pun, no juego de palabras, where it's like, what's your album called? Empathetic. You know, like that's like a punk rock album right there. I think Lucas's next album should be called Empathetic.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, you gotta put yourself in other people's shoes permanently. Like that's the only way to excel at something, because once you think you know everything, and once you think you're like the you know, like the master of your craft, you're fucked, man. I mean,
you think you're the cat's pajamas.
Exactly, man. I love that expression. I don't know, sounds so 30s to me.
Yeah. Or I also like the bee's knees.
The bee's knees.
Bee's knees. You know, las rodillas de la abeja. You know, you're like, what? What?
That's cool, man. Anyways, that's for me. That's like the number one point. Like, everyone opinion should be listened and listened to. Sorry, and
or heard. So you get it.
Or heard. Yeah, I guess that'll be better, right? But and probably 90% of the time, everyone has something to say that it's gonna add, and it's not gonna I guess take quality out of the result. So listen to people, be empathetic. My new favorite word, empathetic, man. And I don't know, trust yourself, and I usually like to think like, whether it's something that I like or not, I wanna like take a listen without my
perspective getting in the way, or just like take a step back and kind of observe it.
That's what I meant. Like I don't know, think of yourself as a listener, as a possible fan of the work you're doing, not as the responsible for
it. Yeah. That's great advice. I might write that down. Yeah. Put yourself in the position of the listener, in the position of the fan, the potential fan, right? That's a sick way to do it. And yeah, I agree with that ego thing. I think sometimes the ego, man, that's just like, because you think of something is cool or not cool, someone else disagrees, it's almost like you think they're attacking you, right? Because we're so close to our opinions and our whatever. It's almost like they're attacking a piece of you. And I couldn't agree more. You know, I think in general, when it comes to politics, when it comes to religion, when it comes to a lot of things, I think we would be better off if we were able to separate who we are with the ideas that we have, and like realize that an idea is just an idea that you have for now, and that's what you think. It doesn't belong to you, and it doesn't define you. And I love that thinking about music in that way, right? Like, it doesn't define you. Like, I was talking to my friend Tom yesterday, and he gave me some good advice that he heard from like Elton John and other people. And it sounds a little rough, but he said, but this is like, it's supposed to be like refreshing, and it's supposed to be relaxing, right? It's just a song, and no one gives a fuck about your song. that's in the best way possible. Like I think we put things out in the world, and it happened at first with this podcast. Every episode I put out, I felt so, I felt like I was putting out a piece of me and a piece of my soul, and I was scared that people would judge it negatively because whatever. And these are just things that I kind of imagined before I even did the podcast. I was thinking of the negative things people could maybe say. And I think it's the same when it comes to English. Like before you even use your English in context, you're already thinking, nah, I'm going to sound stupid. People are going to think I'm stupid. My pronunciation isn't good. I don't know every vocabulary word. I don't know every verb tense. I'm going to make a mistake. They're going to think I'm so stupid. And it's like, nobody is thinking about you like that.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing too, as we were talking, from the producer point of view or whatever, like to put yourself in others' places. Think about it, like for me, because I did this thing too, and it worked for me. Like, think when you're speaking with an English native, like whatever he's from or whatever she's from, think how you react to people which is not from Spain and
who are not from Spain.
Who are not from Spain and do the effort of talking or with you and having and have a conversation with you in Spanish. I mean it's satisfying, right? And you tend to think like high things of people who do that.
Yeah, for sure. And you think highly of someone.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, don't invert that thinking when you are that part, man, because every single time I spoke with someone who was whether English or a US citizen or whatever, they felt good about me speaking English, and
exactly.
And they appreciated it. So it's like, don't torture yourself over making mistakes, because I don't know, you're making mistakes in Spanish too, right?
Yeah, like, exactly.
So
exactly.
I mean, that's like a really small way of think how you could improve. I mean, the big way for me, it's like, let yourself go. Don't worry about messing things up, exactly as you said, with the podcast or recording an album or doing whatever, man, or doing a job interview or whatever. I mean, this doesn't apply only to like speak English and making music or making something creative, man. I mean, for me, it's kind of like, don't be afraid. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Sorry, when you think that you got a certain level or something like that, because you're gonna fuck up like on a regular basis, and that's not a big deal. So I think that should be it for whatever activity you're embarking yourself in.
You're embarking on.
Yeah, embarking on. Yeah. All right.
100%. Yeah, I think I'm going to change the slogan of my podcast, which is currently a podcast designed to improve your English. I want to change the slogan to go out and make mistakes in English.
Exactly, man.
Like that's the only, if I could give people one line of advice, is go make mistakes in English.
Exactly, but
it's the same with everything, man. Like, just go do it. Just go do it and shut up. Just go do it and shut up. And when I say that, I don't want to sound mean, because that's what I think to myself too. Like every challenge that I've had where I just like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm embarrassed. I don't want to do that. Even recently, well, not super recently, but when we played that show with To the Helpless.
Yep.
At first, we were just recording our friend's music, right? Our friend composed an album and he was like, hey, Dane, do you want to sing and tell your brother as well? And we both sang, all cool. I was like, sure, I'll sing your songs, record them, perfect. And then suddenly we're playing a show in front of people. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Oh man, I don't know the word. And I was just putting every obstacle in front of me to prevent myself. Like, it's almost like I was preparing for the worst things, exactly, just so when they happened, I would be okay.
Yeah.
And that's where you lose. So I was just so stressed. And then when we finished the show, I was finally unstressed. but I was just stressed the whole time, and it wasn't enjoyable. It was enjoyable because I was with my friends playing music, but I was so stressed about making mistakes, about looking stupid, about the fact that Lucas likes to write 1 minute instrumental parts and I'm standing on stage with a microphone and I don't even know what to do. I was stressed about all of these things. And then when the actual concert came, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's usually just fine. And it's just us psyching ourselves out, you know?
Exactly.
And just,
I mean, I think life itself is a try and repeat process, I guess. Like you
trial and error, we say as well.
Yeah.
Trial and error, just keep going. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know, it's kind of like you have to learn everything. I mean, no one knows. No one is born knowing a single thing about anything. So it's like, of course, there's people that have natural talent or are geniuses or whatever. But I mean, that's, I guess, less than 1% of the population. So are you going to be like seriously worried about that? No, sir. I mean, as you said, trial and error. I mean, try to do stuff, be bad at stuff, and finally be good at it. So, I mean, you got to do everything like that. So why not with the things that you are passionate about and the things that you love? I mean, you don't have to be like number one. And one thing is being competitive, which I think is good for a lot stuff, and other thing is like worrying yourself because you're not number one at what you're doing. And it's like, for me, it's enjoy the moment. And as you said with the To the Hopeless gig, for me it was like that. Like, of course, you can think, for example, with the instrumental part, you can think that I'm gonna look dumb here, doing nothing, like I don't know, just looking to the horizon and doing nothing for a minute. But until you realize that what people are looking is at the dudes that are playing instruments at that time, and they're gonna be focusing at you the moment you start singing. So that's one perfectly fine example of how we boycott ourselves.
Yeah,
I would say
boycott, sabotage ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, sabotage
pun intended.
Exactly.
That's one of our songs.
That's one song by To the Hopeless. So,
dude, you know what sentence I love? I don't know where I saw this, but this is perfect. Being bad at something is the first step towards being kind of good at something.
I mean, that's genius, man.
You're done. Like, you know what I mean? And like, it's cool because intrinsically in that, it's like, no te flipes. You're like, don't compare yourself with the best. It's like, but yeah, I just want to be like pretty good at stuff. Like, I think if someone's like, would you like to be pretty good at guitar? People will be like, oh my God, I would love to be pretty good at guitar. And there's another one. This is kind of like a bullshit motivational quote, but in a weird way, it did help me. Is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Yeah,
I mean, that's perfectly fine. You know, I was thinking about that. Currently, I'm reading Otis Redding's biography, which I do recommend to everyone, because if you want to know not only about the man, but how the second part of the 20th century in the United States was like, I don't know, for so many subjects like music, but also racism and segregation and the stupidity of the Jim Crow laws and that type of stuff. Please do read that book. But my point was, like, I was reading through the book, and the author, which is Jonathan Wold, I want to say, said that once you get started, for example, listening to music, and you listening to music, sorry, and you know that you wanna make that your career, and you want to live off music, I guess, you have like your idols. For Otis Redding was mainly Little Richard. and also Ray Charles and Sam Cooke, but mainly Little Richard because he was from Macon, Georgia, just like Otis. So it was like kind of like the man he looked and
He looked up to.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and think and thought, sorry, I wanna be this guy, but as many of us do, the first thing he did was like impersonating Little Richard. It was when he got I don't know, when he couldn't impersonate Little Richard more, when he started to create his own thing. And for me, that's, I mean, that applies to probably every single stuff you can imagine, whether, as I said before, whether it's something creative or not. Like you learn mainly by impersonating stuff, right? And the moment you master that is the moment that you are gonna create your own thing. So I don't know, go ahead.
100%, man. 100%. I remember when I first met you, I thought like, I feel like he's trying to be like Lars Fredriksson a little bit. And you were.
Yeah, I was.
You know, and I when I started, once I really started enjoying guitar, I wanted to be, this might be embarrassing, but it's okay. I wanted to be like John Mayer, dude, and just play that guitar and have that sound.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the dude plays one song or two, right? I mean, he's fucking beast. I mean,
he ain't bad.
I mean, yep.
You can think he's an asshole, which a lot of people do, but you know, it's hard to separate music and person.
Yeah,
I mean, some people say they can do it, and then it's like, what do you think about Michael Jackson, dude? Oh no. All right, yo, before we go, because I've taken enough of your time, I think.
It's been a treat, man.
Let's do this. I like to finish my interviews with a little lightning round, some questions. These aren't super important life questions, but hey, you have to answer quickly with 1 or 2 words. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. First one, country or blues?
Woo. Rock and roll, but blues.
Love it. Reggaeton or trap?
That's a hard one. I guess I want to say reggaeton because it's gonna die sooner than trap.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Throwing shade. Next one, the beach or the mountains, bro?
Madrid, but I want to say the beach.
Ooh, careful with bitch or beach.
Oh yeah, us.
The beach or the mountains?
The mountains.
Mountains. Gibson or Fender?
Gibson.
Yeah, that's the fastest one.
Yeah.
So la tenías clara.
Yep.
What's one thing that makes you angry?
Assholes.
Assholes, love it. Favorite band of all time, if you had to choose one?
If it's got to be one, I want to say Rancid. As you were saying about Lars Fredriksson, but there's so many of them, man. I mean,
yeah, I put you on the spot there, having to choose a favorite.
I can choose, but I'm gonna say Rancid.
What about this? Favorite album of all time?
Knock on the Wolves by Rancid.
Dang. Okay, that's the album I've listened to the most in my life, probably.
Yeah.
If you could save only one of your guitars, which would it be?
My SG Standard, because it was my first serious guitar. I played like tons of gigs with it, and the sentimental value of that guitar is just I don't know.
Off the charts.
Yeah, you can't put like value on the that. So yeah.
I think if I picture you playing, I picture that guitar probably. How many songs do you think you've written in your life if you had to put a number on it?
Somewhere between, I don't know, 200, something like that.
Dang, that's a lot. Romantic comedies or action movies?
Action movies, man.
Interesting. You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm a romantic comedy guy. I used to like action movies, but the second, unless it's an elite action movie, the second someone gets in a car and starts chasing someone else in like an average movie, I'm out.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna dig a little deep if you don't mind in this one, because I do love romantic comedies, and the thing for action movies, it's got to be a good one. But I love action movies, but for example, I want to say like something like the first Die Hard movie or the the four Lethal Weapon movies. I mean, I'm too old for this shit, man. I mean, that's got to be one of the greatest lines in movie history.
Every year that goes by, I'm liking that line a little bit more.
Exactly. I mean,
I got another one for you. This is a good segue. Do you have a favorite movie of all time?
That's got to be Star Wars, man.
Nice. Of course it is. Of course it is. We didn't even touch upon the fact that you're a huge Star Wars nerd. Maybe next time. Do you have a favorite actor?
That's a hard one. I think I'm gonna pass on that because there are so many good people doing the craft. So
interesting. Favorite guitar player?
Probably Brian Setzer, I guess.
Of course. Do you have a tattoo about it?
Yeah, I got a Stray Cats.
That's cool. All right, dude. Well, thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
I think it's important for people to hear, like, and I don't mean this obviously in a bad way, but just to hear Spanish people speaking good English.
Yeah, I mean,
I think a lot of people kind of have this thing of like, I don't know how I can manage. But if you guys are listening to this conversation, if you've been paying attention to like the vocabulary that Escri's been using, the expressions, everything, like it's doable. So try and do it. Before we go, tell people where they can find you. We haven't even talked about your YouTube channel. We'll save that for next time, but tell everybody your Instagram, your YouTube channel, a little bit about what it is and the stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. They can find me on Instagram at Álvaro Escribano, on YouTube, Álvaro Escribano, and the channel, I mean, centers about rock and roll music in the widest meaning of it, and I don't know, production, recording, history, whatever. If you like rock music, I think you're gonna love it. So give it a try.
Yeah, guys, check it out. It's super fun. They recreate songs. They talk about, Álvaro talks about production. If you're into guitar, music, recording, anything like that, also just, it'll be fun. You'll like it. Álvaro does a great job at it. So again, thanks again, dude. And we'll talk soon. All right.
Yep.
All right, G. Peace.
Peace.